All right. Hello. How's it going, everyone? Rukia and I would absolutely love to welcome all of you to our broadcast today. So, what we are doing is actually doing a little restream, and I haven't done a lot of broadcasting from this platform. It's actually quite new to me. So going through and playing with this while I'm going live is just so great. Look at that. Thank you so much for joining us today. I can actually put a different one in there as well. Let's add another one while we're waiting for more people to join us. Don't forget to sign up for my webinar on November 23rd. And you can actually make it as a ticker. Actually, let's make it as a ticker. I like that. Have you guys ever used Restream or seen anyone who's used Restream before? Let me know in the comments if you've ever used that software before. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Oh, look at that. How cool is that, you guys? This is so much fun. And then we'll put the little sign up in there. Oh my God, this is so much fun. This is really great. I'm going to get used to this and I'm going to be using this on the regular. It's going to be fantastic. So let's get started on the topic that we're going to talk about for today. So my microphone is like right there at the bottom. You guys can see like this little black orb. It's basically just the microphone. So today, what we're going to be talking about based on, it is a real bird. The bird on my shoulder is absolutely real. Yeah. I need to make sure that you guys can comment and I can actually see the comments and stuff in the chat as well. So let's make sure. If you want to increase engagement from your Facebook group, invite your audience to connect their Facebook to Restream to show their name and profile and picture. Send this to your viewers. This is really interesting. Why won't it just show? There's a chat overlay? Oh, look how awesome that is. Okay, cool. So we can I'll be able to see the comments on the side of the screen. I'm going to get to know this. This is really awesome. Okay. Back to the topic at hand, people. I'm just getting to know a new software and there's a lot going on and it's super fun. So there was somebody that was in the Facebook group, my group, Mental Health Support for Professionals and Entrepreneurs. And she was bringing up the fact that she really struggled to spend time on herself and to manage and handle all of the different things that she had on her plate. Now, I'm going to let you guys know that just like in general, people do struggle to spend time on themselves. And I think it's quite known that women struggle with this because we're programmed to, be good little wives and mothers and to take care of everybody and, neglect ourselves, right? We're supposed to be the provider and the nurturer and the caregiver, and we're supposed to take care of everyone around us. And the whole idea of taking time out for yourself is just a non-negotiable. And my mother actually was the absolute best example of this. She really did sacrifice everything. And then she made us feel guilty for everything that she sacrificed. So there definitely was no getting away scot-free with my mother. So, but she showed me how to run myself into the ground and not take care of myself. She made her own clothes. She cut her own hair. Like she just kind of like barely did anything to take care of herself. And it's not that she couldn't. It's just that I think that's just the way that she was essentially programmed, right? And my father, he absolutely showed me how to run myself into the ground because he worked, He not only worked a day job, but he also went and did side jobs to bring in extra money as well. So he was a ghost of a father. I never really saw my dad. And he just seemed to be working himself into the ground for absolutely nothing. I mean, I barely saw him and we barely got by. So I know that it had a lot now to do with the fact that he was depressed. And even though he was making enough money at the time, it was not budgeted. It wasn't prioritized. Nothing was organized. And so he was, the money wasn't being allocated properly. So let's discuss what it is that really makes us feel like we need to run ourselves into the ground and we're not allowed to take care of ourselves. Now, for women, it's the pressure of being the provider, being the nurturer, being the one that is supposed to be there for the family and take care of everyone and everything, organize schedules, do laundry, cook, clean, take care of the house, and also obviously show up and be an amazing lover. Now, in today's world, we also have to take on the fact that the woman generally needs to work as well to contribute to the household, because you can't be a one income household anymore. It's not feasible in our society today. With inflation rates being as high as they are around the world, we need to have both parents working, and yet a lot of the pressure and the weight still falls on the woman to be the nurturer, to be the one who is taking care of the household. And the man, in general, it's completely up to him as to whether he wants to support that or not. But, goes out and does everything he can to earn a living and then has whatever he does on the side. And there are some amazing men who really want to spend time with their children and really want to contribute to the household. And I absolutely love that, because I think that it's really important with the women going out and having to work and contribute to the household, that there is also balance there, and both are, equally distributing the tasks and the things that need to be done in order to support the household. Now, from the man's standpoint, they are taught to be the breadwinner. They're taught to go out and conquer. And in all reality, a man's self-worth, their identity, is directly, intrinsically attached to their ability to create a successful career, their ability to be able to amass money, right? And so it's all about the job title. I mean, when you talk to somebody and you first meet them, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is what they do. What do you do for a living, right? It's one of the first topics that people discuss. And so who you are in society and your status and everything is completely intrinsically attached to the fact that whether you have a high paying job or a job that has a good reputation or not, you're going to be acceptable and interesting. And then, of course, we also have to look at the fact that men have to deal with, having to be a provider, to be successful and everything, to be able to attract a decent woman, right? Women want men that they feel are going to be able to provide for their offspring, their children. Now, on a fundamental, intrinsic level, we do look to each other to provide specific things, right? Because really back in the day, before there was like agriculture and housing and all of the rest, we needed a strong male hunter-gatherer to provide for the family. And the woman needed to have healthy curves to be a good childbearer, right? So we do instinctually look to those things. And in today's world, what that looks like is looking for a man that can be a good provider, that can go out and make money and provide a roof over your heads, right? And so that is not something that we can necessarily get rid of. However, we can acknowledge it, and we don't need to be driven by or choose a partner coming at it from the perspective of essentially being a gold digger and expecting the man to provide the full income for the household. Because in today's world, women are very capable, very intelligent, very educated, and are going out and creating amazing businesses and careers for themselves. And many women are out there making more money than men do. So we now are in a world of equality when it comes to the ability to earn income as men and women. And I'm not going to say 100%. It's a work in progress, but we're creating that, right? And so if we know that, basically call it our lizard mind, our Cro-Magnon mind is going to be looking to certain things, and yet in today's world, the way things are very, very different. When you are creating a partnership with a person, it's important to look at what each other's weaknesses and strengths are. What one partner might like doing more than the other, right? When you're coming together as a couple to create a family. My partner can't stand folding laundry. He hates doing laundry. It's like the thing he loathes more than anything else. The only way to get that man to fold laundry is to put the laundry on the bed, and then he has to like fold it and put it away to go to sleep, right? So he's also not good at putting his clothes like away after he's done wearing it. He'll just throw it on the floor. We've been together for 10 years and he still does it. So there are certain things that, are intrinsically like who he is and what he prefers. Now, does it make any sense for me to nag him or to force him to do these things that he doesn't like? Or could I pick up the slack and then he gets to do the things that he likes? He really loves doing things in the kitchen. He loves cooking. He went to culinary school, right? So when he's at home, he picks up the slack for me and allows me to just focus on working. And then he goes and he cooks the meals for me so that I can just keep working, because in all reality, I will totally skip meals. If I could just pop pills to satiate myself and move on and keep working, I completely would. I'm going to be honest with you. That's just how I flow. I like eating. I enjoy eating when I go out with friends and stuff like that. But when it comes to like being in the work like flow, and particularly right now, because I'm launching a new program on the 23rd, if I could just work through and not eat, I absolutely would. And then I'll celebrate after my launch and go out for dinner. You know what I mean? Like, this whole human need to eat is very irritating. And yet, Scott loves to spend time in the kitchen, cooking and baking and doing all that great stuff. So he compensates for my lack of desire to cook. Does it make any sense to make me go into the kitchen and cook because I'm the woman? Absolutely not. It's not my jam. I don't like it. Scott loves it. It's his favorite place to be. Does it make any sense for me to force him to fold and do laundry and everything when he hates doing it, when it's something that I don't mind doing at all? No. So when he comes home after 3 weeks off, because he's been working up in Grand Prairie lately, as a result of the fact that the film industry obviously went on strike. Finally, the strike is over, but obviously they were on strike. And so he had to go work up in Grand Prairie. And so he's only home 3 weeks, or sorry, he's gone 3 weeks and he's back here for 12 days. So when he comes home, he's obviously got a whole bunch of dirty laundry that needs to be taken care of. And I will wash all of that for him and make sure that everything is washed. And then obviously while he's here and making dirty laundry, I'm putting it in the laundry basket and, washing everything and making sure that everything is good. And to lighten the burden for me, he cooks and he makes me meals. Now, the rest of the 3 weeks that he's gone, I have to fend for myself. And I do. I get chef's plate. Okay. So I'm not a big fan of necessarily cooking, but to get the chef's plate meals really cuts down on prep time, because everything that you need is in a bag with instructions. So you can get yourself a meal cooked in like 30 minutes. It's absolutely spectacular. So let's talk for a second about how we can optimize our energy levels, how we can create more boundless energy for life and take care of essentially what it is that we need to take care of. Now, one way to have more energy and to be able to get more done is to, if you're in a relationship, like I was discussing before, work with your partner and like get clear on at the very beginning of the relationship who likes what and who doesn't like what. And you guys work together, because both partners have to go out and earn a living nowadays. We know this, right? And there might be one in the relationship that's a little bit more ambitious and passionate about their path than the other. And if that's the case, then the one who's playing the supporting role is doing what they need to do to bring in the earnings so that the one who is really passionate about their career path can really focus on what they need to focus on. Now, in my relationship, my partner, he's working as a Teamster in film, and he's been working up in Grand Prairie in the oil fields. And what he does, I mean, he doesn't love what he's doing in Grand Prairie right now. I'm going to tell you that, to be honest. He's not loving it, but it's bringing in money. And when he's working as a Teamster, he likes working as a Teamster, but it's not his like soul's purpose. It's not the thing that he's like really, really passionate about doing. It's earning a decent living. Out of the two of us, I'm the one, oh my gosh, my mic decided to stop working. Out of the two of us, I'm the one who's actually significantly more passionate about what I do. I am here to flood the earth with love. I'm an executive coach. I've been working with professionals and entrepreneurs for 10 years. I've been developing my intellectual property for that long. I am incredibly passionate about helping people to create a life in service of themselves, to be able to create balance, to create beautiful, healthy, romantic relationships, professional and personal, in all aspects of life. So when you have that drive, that passion to serve, when you have like a great calling, life calling, soul calling, whatever it is that you want to call it, if you have a partner that's willing to show up and do the things that need to be done so that you can focus on what you want to do, that big thing that you want to create in your life, then you're able to work together as a team more effectively. And my partner and I had that conversation. And it was very clear that what I'm doing in my life is my soul's calling. I mean, he was there holding space for me as I was doing the healing work for myself. And I discovered why I'm here on this planet and what it is that I want to do. So that is very, very important to me. And he shows up to lighten the burden in any way that he can, whether it's financial, whether it's going and cooking me meals, or whatever it is that he could possibly do to support me. He does that. And it's incredible. And I do what I can to lighten the burden, knowing that he's making sacrifices and he's working really hard and he's doing stuff that he doesn't necessarily really love, but he's doing so that I can show up and I can do what I love. So when I have the opportunity to show up and lighten the burden for him, I do exactly the same thing, right? And we both get to focus on doing what we love. Now, do you guys want to know what the secret is to really creating boundless energy for everything in life, for whatever it is that you want to do, for whatever opportunities are going to show up, for whatever passion project, soul's purpose, true life purpose, whatever it is that shows up? If you want to have boundless energy for that thing, if you want to be able to show up when the opportunity shows up and be able to maintain everything else that you have going on and also be able to take that thing on, do you know what the secret is? Let me take a drink of water. It's like those reality shows where they do like a quick pause to create tension or suspension. So there's one aspect of your life that you really, really want to focus on above all others. Now, you want to focus on everything and you want to get everything done and you want to create balance in your life. But if you want to be able to really excel in all aspects of life, there is one aspect that must come first before everything else. Do you know what that is? You might. You might know what the answer is, but maybe you're not doing it because you're struggling to find a way to do it. Or you might not have a clue what I'm talking about at all. So if you're going to create boundless energy and health and wellness and an emotional mindset that is stable, that allows for you to be able to show up to do whatever it is that you want to do, you want to invest in yourself first. It's all about showing up for you. developing self-care routines that are non-negotiables, learning how to treat your body in a particular way so that what it is that you put in it is optimizing your health. So really, it's about learning how to develop an unconditionally loving relationship with your body. When you have high perceived self-value, then you're only going to put the best stuff in your body, right? Now, think of this. You're essentially a spirit that is going on a joyride in this vessel, right? I think most people understand or believe that. If you're an atheist and you believe you're just going to die after this, that's totally cool. I'm not here to dictate to anybody. I'm just sharing my thoughts, okay? So you are a soul going on a joyride in this vessel, and this vessel enables your ability to experience this world, this matrix, right? And if you want to experience the best of it, be able to show up for all of the opportunities, it's all about learning how to fuel the vessel to optimize its functionality. So instead of thinking about just eating to fill your belly or eating essentially to satiate emotions or stress eating or any of that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not here to judge people who are doing that. If you are struggling with food for one reason or another, and there is emotion that is tied to it, working with a practitioner like me that can help you to relieve the emotion and the programming and stuff that's associated with that, so you can take on this mindset that I'm talking about, is going to be supportive. Okay. I understand when people are doing things like binge eating, it's very emotional and they feel out of control and they don't have a very good relationship with food and with themselves. Okay. And they feel out of control. And I respect that. So take these thought processes on from the idea that I understand everything that goes on in the background and the struggles and the challenges that you have and how to help you to overcome them. Okay. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and energy healer, and I understand exactly what goes into resolving issues like this. Okay. So we're talking a little bit more superficial surface level when it comes to the concepts. And I want you to know that I'm not here to judge your struggles. And if you want resolution with your struggles, you can reach out and book a call with me, and I'm happy to help you. Okay. So if you think about yourself, now I like to think of myself as a Bugatti Veyron. Do you guys know what a Bugatti Veyron is? It's a $3 million sports car. When you buy a Bugatti Veyron, it actually is custom made. You go into the dealership and you actually get to choose what kind of vehicle you get and how it's made and handpick all the stuff and everything like that. So how many people in this life actually get to drive one of those? Not many, right? So if you think of this vehicle as a very high powered, efficient, amazing, one of a kind handmade vessel that allows for you to be able to experience this life, I don't think you're going to go pumping diesel or putting pop or water into the engine of that, right? You're going to put premium octane in that car. You're going to put the best race car oil in there. You're going to put the best transmission fluid in there. You're going to make sure that it's got the best of everything so that it is optimized to function to capacity, because that thing goes fast, right? But it can only go fast if it is optimized with the right engine and fuel and everything that it needs. It needs lubricants and stuff like that, right? It's got to have the right tires. It's got to have proper braking system to slow it down. So think about our body. Now, if you were to think about fueling a high-powered vessel, would you go to the corner store and eat a cheap chocolate bar? Probably not, right? You're only going to go for more high-end, healthy, high-quality fuel, okay? The other aspect is that if you take a car and you don't drive it and you don't start it for months, what happens? The engine seizes, does it not? There are very few cars that'll actually start when you leave them for a long time. I've discovered that a Honda Civic is one of them. Those things seem to start no matter how long you let them sit. I don't know what they do to those engines, but they're little beasts and they last forever. However, you and I both know that if we don't eat, if we don't fuel ourselves, if we don't sleep, if we don't move our bodies, it will obviously have the same response. People that are stuck in hospital beds for prolonged periods of time, their muscles melt, right? You lose your tonicity and you have to learn how to walk again. So this vessel needs to move. One of the ways to optimize this vessel is to take it for rides. Take it for a joyride, drive it all over the place, right? So exercise and movement is incredibly important to optimize your physical vessel. It's also going to give you more energy. When you fuel it with the right thing and exercise, you're going to have a lot more energy. Now, there are a lot of thought processes as to what it is that we should be doing. I think that a very, very good combo stretching routine, whether it's straight up stretching or yoga, totally up to you, doing some type of cardio, right? Whether you're walking, running, cycling, swimming, whatever it is that you dancing, you can do whatever it is that you want, some type of cardio, right? And doing some type of weight bearing exercise. Okay. So I like to stretch and do yoga. I like to go for walks and I like to hike and I like to do HIIT workouts, which give me weight and cardio. And I like to go to the gym and lift weights. So I do a combo of things that optimize my physical vessel. Okay. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I turned 44 in the summer. Okay. And in my life right now, I am the healthiest that I have ever been in my life. I'm healthier than I was when I was in my 20s. And the reason for that is because I have gotten to know my physical vessel. That's really cute. Thank you so much for that. Better than I knew it in my 20s. I know how to fuel my vessel better. I know how to exercise my vessel to optimize its energy levels, right? Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there that are like, well, I've got a job, I've got kids, I've got all these things that I have to take care of. And when I take time out to take care of myself, I feel guilty. There's just not enough time. So all of that sounds great, Harmony, but how am I supposed to do that? Look, I understand where you're coming from, and I want you to understand that when you show up for yourself first, it actually enables you to be able to show up for the people that you love and want to take care of and nurture even more so. You will have more energy for the people that you love. Okay? This is how you develop boundless energy. Now, at first, it's probably going to be a lot easier and better for you if you think about it from that perspective, because people have a hard time being what they call selfish. Now, I don't think of being selfish as actually a negative word. Okay. But if it's easier for you to think, if I take care of myself first, then I can take care of everybody else that I love with more energy, right? Then it's easier for you to show up for yourself because you're doing it in the name of showing up for others. Okay. And then over a period of time, as you invest in yourself, you're going to feel better about yourself. Your confidence is going to go up. Your self-worth is going to go up. And then it will be so much easier because you're going to see the longevity that you have in being able to show up for others, the boundless energy that you're going to have to be able to do everything. However, it's going to be an autonomic response for you to want to take care of others and not take care of yourself first. So what you're going to want to do is create a schedule for yourself. Maybe even create a food plan for yourself to support yourself until it becomes an autonomic response. Okay? Because the neural pathways in your brain, if they're already wired to tell you that you need to take care of everybody else, and you are mindlessly eating based on the way that you ate when you were a child, then you don't necessarily think about it. It's just automatic, right? However, you can change your programming. You can rewire your neurological system, okay? It's just about understanding that when you learned how to drive a car, when you think about the first day that you got behind the wheel of that vehicle, if you guys are old enough that you're driving, right? Yes, his name is Rukia. This is my lovebird, Rukia. You were thinking about what was in the rear view mirror, what was in the side view mirror. You were looking at the speedometer. You were looking at the gas. You were like trying to figure out how the pedals worked and the steering wheel. And you're like trying to pay attention to everything. And at first it's quite overwhelming, isn't it? And yet as it becomes more normalized and the brain is actually wired to learn how to drive a vehicle, one day you find yourself driving somewhere on autopilot and you don't even know how you got there, and you don't know how you how you didn't get into an accident because you weren't paying attention. And it's because you've hardwired the ability to be able to drive and get somewhere on autopilot because you've probably driven to that place 1,000 times before. So your brain just has the route programmed, and the subconscious mind does it for you. And the conscious mind doesn't necessarily actually need to be present for that action. So it goes off on a tangent thinking about other things. Okay. Now think about optimizing your physical vessel. You've done that many times and your body takes over and gets you there. Your subconscious mind takes over, not your body. Well, okay, hold on. Your subconscious mind takes over your body and takes you there. So you're right. It's just being governed by the subconscious mind because the autonomic programming is in the subconscious mind. The conscious mind has to think about everything that it does, right? Whereas the subconscious mind only acts purely on programming. So this is what's really interesting is you can actually utilize this to rewire the neural pathways to your benefit. Okay. So if you think about the different things that you want to change in your life, say you're not taking care of yourself very well, you want to eat better, you want to exercise better. What you're going to need to do is take on that new health plan, that new fuel plan for optimizing that physical vessel. Okay. And then you also want to create a new movement plan for yourself, exercise plan, whatever it is that you want to call it. And you're going to schedule it and you're going to mindfully engage with it. And when your mind wants to go and do something else, you are going to have to consciously say, this is a non-negotiable. I am going to fuel my vessel in the best way that's going to optimize it. So I'm not going to the corner store to get junk food. I'm not going to get chips. I am going to get what is going to fuel my vessel the best. And if you find yourself wanting to have something sweet, then go to a chocolatier and get beautiful, high quality truffles made with love. And I'm not here telling you that you can't have nice food and nice things. It's just about being a snob about it, right? It's that high octane premium fuel. Would you put a cheap chocolate bar in that vessel? Is that going to optimize it? Because we know that that's made of all sorts of junk. I mean, they have chocolate that comes from many countries and many plantations, which is the junk chocolate that they don't want to sell. And it all gets fused together and then it gets sold to the larger companies. And that's what they make the product out of. Now they're taking the cacao butter out and they're replacing it with lard, right? And wax and all sorts of other things. So it's not the quality that this beautiful vessel deserves, does it? So what you want to do is go to a high-end chocolatier that gets beautiful high-end chocolate that's sourced from a single plantation in a single country. And he takes out and puts in the cacao butter to the concentration that he wants, depending on the type of chocolate that he's making. And he sources local, in-season ingredients to make his truffles. And he makes it all with love. When you put something like that in your body, well, it's delicious. But it's also high vibration as well. And it's the best of the best. So think about changing your vocabulary when it comes to the type of stuff that you're putting in your body, right? When you go to the restaurant, you're going to have a nice creme brulee because it's high quality. It's made with a beautiful high standard. Only so many people know how to do it appropriately, right? So think about things from that level. I don't want this to be a scenario where you're thinking, oh my God, she's trying to tell me that I need to all of a sudden restrict myself. Okay. It's not about restriction. It's about balance, and it's about making like choices to choose things that are significantly more high quality. Okay. And 98% of the time you eat healthy. And then the 2% of the time that you treat yourself, you only treat yourself with the best of the best, because this vessel deserves the best. Okay. Now, also, when it comes to your exercise routine, you're going to need to make that a negotiable. So you're going to want to make set aside certain days of the week that you're going to do the things that you're going to do. Once it becomes autonomic and it's a part of your routine and everything, you're not going to need to think about it as much. But if it's your autonomic response to go sit on the couch under a blanket and not move all day, you're going to want to change that, right? Because these vessels are meant to be moved. I look like Donna from Suits. That is such a huge compliment. Thank you. I love Donna. I absolutely love Donna. That's really mwah. Thank you so much. So if you don't do a lot of exercising, maybe start with 3 days a week, right? And then start to maybe go for a walk every day and do stretching on the days that you work out. And if you feel like you can maybe, get down on the floor and stretch a little bit more while you're watching a TV show instead of sitting on the couch, that's going to be a lot more beneficial for you, right? So set out a little calendar, and you're going to want to mindfully choose that. And your brain is going to fight with you because it is hardwired to do these things that you've been doing for years. So you are going to consciously have to say to yourself, I am not going to do this thing. I am choosing this because I want to hardwire this new pathway. Okay. And every time you say no to the other pathway and you choose the other one, you are starving that neural pathway and it will die out. And you are nourishing and fueling the new neural pathway and it will thrive. And over a period of time, there will be no more connection to the other neural pathway, and the other one will be fully hardwired. And you will find yourself just autonomically going to the gym, feeling the need to just get out and go for a walk, saying no to junk food when people ought to offer it to you because you're like, I'm sorry, that's not worthy of this vessel. I don't put that kind of stuff in this vessel. It's just going to be your normal response. Okay. Yes, it is work in the beginning, just like it was learning how to drive a car. And yet, when you know that you are working towards rewiring the mind and creating a new autonomic response that is going to become easy over time, then it's worth it. There's payoff. You're not going to have to work at it forever. Okay? Because once you get the payoff, you get the dopamine hit, it gets better, right? And it gets easier. So the dopamine hit really helps to hardwire that new neural pathway and to reaffirm that you are going down a positive path. When you eat cheap junk food or you get really drunk and everything, you're hungover the next day. You feel like crap because you've consumed a bunch of sugar. When you eat really healthy food, it fuels you and it gives you lots of energy, right? When you choose not to drink alcohol, you're not then in a position where you're hungover the next day and you have energy to do things the next day. When you exercise, you're going to find yourself being more energetic, having more energy for the things that you want to do. It's going to fuel that agenda. Makes sense? So yes, I'm asking you to invest in yourself and do something that's not necessarily going to be easy. And every time you do it the first few times, you're going to have to consciously choose it. And over time, it's going to get easier and easier and easier because you're going to experience the payoff. You're going to understand why you're doing it. And it's going to be easier to choose it. And then one day you're just going to find it's going to be a need, not a want. It's going to be an autonomic response. You're going to get up and you're going to want to go for a walk. You're going to want to stretch. Because you're going to feel tight. And you're going to be like, I'm going to get on the floor and I'm going to stretch it out. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift some weights because I know how good I feel. If you're really frustrated and you're having a difficult day and things aren't working out for you, you can go to the gym and you can pick heavy things up and put it down, and it'll make you feel better, and it'll distance you from everything and maybe give you some perspective or create an aha moment that'll allow for you to go back to the work with a new perspective, right? And when everything isn't working out in your daily world, if you're struggling in any way, you know you can always go to the gym and get a dopamine hit and have a win because you finished a workout. It's incredibly good for your mental health as well as your physical well-being, okay? So if you really want that boundless energy and you want to create that boundless energy guilt-free, understand that when you create powerful, non-negotiable self-care routines for your beautiful, powerful vessel that is miraculous, you are changing the molecular structure of the food that you put in your body into hair, nails, organs, skin, all sorts of things. How is the subconscious mind doing that? If we had to take all of the systems and processes that your subconscious mind is actually pulling off to keep you alive and give it to the conscious mind to try to figure it out, you'd be dead in a millisecond. There's no way the conscious mind can handle all of the systems and processes that take place to create homeostasis for your blood, to create homeostasis for your stomach, to make the heart beat, to make the lungs breathe, to change the molecular structure of the food and the liquids that we drink, to process toxins. I mean, the list goes on when it comes to what it is, the miraculous things that our body is doing in order to keep us alive, right? You are miraculous. You are powerful. All you need to learn to do is tap into that and make that power, the power of how the mind is programmed. You can utilize it to support your agendas, to support yourself. When you don't understand how the mental operating system works, you feel like you are at odds with your mind and it's not working with you. But you're not at odds with your mind because you're doing something wrong. Nobody taught you how your mental operating system works. And that is why I do the work that I do. That's why I created the energetic integration system. That's why I am launching it, because I want to help people that want to learn how to update their mental operating system, that want to learn how to create a relationship with their mind and body, that want to learn how to optimize their physical health, that want to learn how to create beautiful relationships professionally and personally, that want to understand how to create a balanced, holistic life. Because there are many things that you need to know to optimize yourself and to live a beautiful life so that at the end of your life, when you're laying there thinking about the kind of life that you lived, you're going to say, you know what? I did it right. I can go. I'm good. I don't want you at the end of your life laying there with regrets because all you did was serve your boss's agenda, your family's agenda, your peers' agenda. You were trying to seek acceptance from an outside source, from peers, from people who don't matter. And maybe you never discovered why you're here on the planet in the first place, or you had dreams that you never even invested in. You spent your time chasing money and possessions and left many broken relationships behind you. I don't want that to be you on your deathbed. I want you to discover why you're here, your true life's purpose, and to be able to create a beautiful, healthy life that you can say at the end, I figured out the matrix. I got this. I did it. I lived a beautiful life. And you can say, I'm good to go. And whether you believe you're going to move on to another life, or whether you believe that this is the end and you're going to go to heaven, whatever it is that you believe, I think it's important to figure out how to master this life and how to make the absolute best of it. And if you feel your soul calling to you because you feel lost and you don't know what to do to make that happen, I very much encourage you for you guys over there in TikTok, go to the link in my bio and sign up for my early bird launch of my energetic integration system. Okay. And for all of you guys, all you got to do is scan that QR code right there. Okay. On November 23rd at 2 p.m., I am going to be doing a webinar where I will be launching for the first time in a decade of working with professionals and entrepreneurs, my energy integration system, which is amazing, innovative, and powerful as the intellectual property that I have created in this program has solely been created to create results. I'm saying the word create a lot for my clients over the last decade. Okay. So we have one of a kind intellectual property that has proof of concept. It is innovative in the fact that it is using neurological science, teaching you how to rewire neural pathways. It's using the concepts of hypnotherapy, but in not receiving hypnosis, by me actually teaching you how to create a relationship with your mental operating system and how to update it, how to optimize it. Learning how energetics work and how to optimize your energy so that you can show up for all opportunities that come up for you. If you really want to live a holistically balanced life and optimize yourself so that you can have quality of life and not just quantity, and you want to be at the end of the day, at the end of your life, saying, I did it right, I'm good, then sign up, scan the QR code, go to the link in my bio, sign up for the webinar on Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because I'm going to share something profound with you. This is my life's work. And I'm telling you, I am sharing this because I am passionate to see as many people as I can on this world thrive. I am not like other people that are just throwing frameworks and teachings at people, not caring about the result. Every single client I work with, I dig into their lives, I dig into their dreams, I do my due diligence, and I make sure they get the results they're looking for. Because I am not here to sell a widget and make money and laugh to the bank. I am here to serve with love. So if you feel that, if you are looking for somebody who is ethical, who truly wants to serve and help you create a beautiful life where you can invest in those dreams that you have that maybe you haven't shared with anyone or you're afraid to invest in, this webinar is for you. If you're thinking about the end of your life and you're wondering, how am I going to end this life in a way where I'm creating a legacy, where I'm leaving something behind that I can feel good about, but you don't know how to do that, this webinar is for you. If you're feeling isolated because you're a person who's actually successful and you feel that everyone around you is strategizing to take advantage of you, and you don't know how to create and cherry pick quality relationships with people that are going to see you for the amazing person that you are and not use you for what they can get from you, this webinar is for you. If you are the kind of a person that is sitting with unresolved trauma and past experiences that are driving your actions, and you know they're driving your actions because you're making a mess in your life. Every time you get triggered, you act out and you don't know how to make it stop. This webinar is for you. If you're coming out of heartbreak or you're currently in a dysfunctional relationship and you don't know how to create a successful, healthy relationship, I'm a best-selling topic. This webinar is for you. No matter what it is that you have going on in your life, if you feel lost and you feel stuck and you don't know where to move forward, come to this webinar and see how I can make a difference for you. Start 2024 with a powerful executive coach in your back pocket and see what happens. I'm not just here to show up and do sessions with you and throw frameworks and teachings at you and not care about how things are going to work out in the real world. My clients who work with me get access to me live. They can actually reach out to me when they're struggling and ask me for support. And I help them through conflict and struggles and challenges when they need me. Provided that obviously I'm not sleeping or doing something with another client. It's all within reason. But I don't know how many coaches you know that actually show up for you on demand like that. That give you help when you need it, when you're living your real life and stuff is going down. Okay? If you want to see what I am like on another level, if you've been curious about me, if you've been watching me and you don't know whether I'm the right person for you, but you've been seeking help, well, come hang out with me. Sign up, scan the code, click the link on my bio, and sign up to join me on November 23rd at 2:00. Now, just so you know, this is the first time I have ever launched this program publicly. I am doing an exclusive webinar on Thursday, and the early bird options that I am going to have will only be available until November 30th. So if you want an opportunity to get to know me better, to see what I have to offer, and potentially jump in on my early bird offers, you're going to want to join me, because on November 30th, when I launch globally, that is all going to be gone. Okay? I'm only doing this the once when I launch the first time, because this is a really big deal. This is 10 years of my life's work being launched. And I also want to give people the opportunity that maybe don't have the abundance to be able to take advantage of my offerings in the early bird offer. Okay? So I'm going to let you guys go with love. I've been live for almost an hour now. I hope that what I've shared with you is supportive. And please, if you have any questions, message me in the comments, okay? And reach out and let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I'd love to hear your questions. And I'm going to be live on the 23rd. So if you want to come and join me live on the 23rd and ask me questions there, I will answer your questions as well, okay? It has been so lovely to hang out with each and every one of you. And Rukia, my little grumpy bean, let me bring him down so he can say hi to you. Just so you know, he's not missing feathers because he's sad or depressed or stressed. He's 16. He's an old man. People ask me those questions all the time. They're like, why is he missing feathers? Because he's 16. And lovebirds only live till they're like 16 to 18. So he's a very old man. Okay, guys. I love and value each and every one of you. Thank you for taking the time to join me. I hope that you found this beneficial, and I will be joining you again soon. If there's any particular topics that you'd like me to talk about, please share it in the comments, and I would be absolutely happy to show up for you guys to educate you some more on different topics and pain points that you might be struggling with, okay? All the love from me to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.